Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to talk about being stingy in video games. There are certain video games which have certain items which permanently increase the stats of your characters by a certain amount. And these items are awesome, right? Because they enhance your characters in a way where they are better than their previous self. And these items are most common in like Japanese role playing games where you have certain attributes like attack, defense, stuff like that. And my issue is that I always find myself not using these items, and I don't understand why. I am playing the new Fire Emblem game for the Nintendo 3DS. I am at the end of the game, and I have so many of these items in my inventory that I have not used, and it makes no sense to me because these items are meant to be used, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the game. But I just have so many of them. Let me show you how many of them I actually have in my inventory. Alright, so I have 10 of these things which increase hit points by 5, 7 that increase strength by 2, 7 which increase magic, then I have 6 which are the skill ones, 6 for speed, 11 for luck, 12 for defense, and 13 for resistance. And then I have this one thing which increases everything, and then I got these boots which increase movement by 2, and like I could have put this on a thief so he could reach treasure chests quicker. And like I have all these items, and I never use them, and I'm already at the end game, as you see down here. So like I could have used these and made my journey easier, but I didn't. It's like this for me with every game that I play that has these kind of items in them. Like I always reach the end of the game and I have a bunch of these items that I never used, and it kind of makes no sense because, well, like what's the point in using them now that I've pretty much beaten the game, you know what I'm saying? And like any normal gamer would have used them, but for me it's different. Like I've lowered it down to one of two things or a combination of both. The first thing is that like because these items are too rare, they're like so rare to find, like they can only be found in treasure chests or like I don't know, found in hidden corners or something. Maybe I feel like they're too precious to use and like I don't want to use them. However, I have another thing that really irritated me that I'll show you right now. This chick was once at level 10 and she had a strength of 35. She has this ability called Gale Force, which allows her to take another action after she kills an enemy. So I kind of figured, hey, I'm going to boost up the strength on this girl and she can take out double the amount of enemies per turn and I can clear the map faster. You know, it makes sense, right? So I gave her 2 energy drops and it put her strength up to 39. And then she gained a level up to level 11, and then her strength capped out at 40. And I was kind of like, well, what was the point then? Like, I had no idea that her strength had a cap of 40 on it. So it kind of felt like it was a waste. Like, I could have used those energy drops for someone else. And that kind of ties in with what I was talking about how, like, the items are too precious to use. So, like, in that case, I used the items, and at a future date, they turned out to be pointless. Like, I wouldn't want to, like, rewind time to get the items back, but I wish I wouldn't have used those items on that unit. Instead, like, I could have used it on someone else. Or I could have waited until, like, I maxed out her level, and if her strength was not at the cap, then I could use the items to hit the cap, you know? So, like, to me, it's like, why use the items if at a future date you're just gonna regret the decision to use those items, you know? So in a way, whenever I get these rare items, I want to play in a more conservative manner because to me that just makes the most sense. Now, perhaps the other thing that influences my decisions with these rare items is the fact that I'm older now, so I think more like adult-like, I guess. Let me give you an example. One of my favorite games growing up when I was a kid was Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo. I played this game like religiously as a kid. Like I know the ins and outs of that game because I played it so much. The first boss of this game dropped an item called a flower jar, and you would use this to increase your flower points by 3. And you use flower points to use more special attacks, and like that was the purpose of these items. Or you could sell it for 300 coins. And as a kid, I would always do that. Like whenever I would start a new game, I would beat that boss, I'd get the flower jar, and I'd sell it for 300 coins, and then I would buy equipment for Mario and his little buddy at the time. Now, about 5 years ago, this game came out for the Virtual Console on the Wii, and I paid the $8 and I downloaded it. And I remember after beating that first boss, I didn't sell the flower jar. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna keep this because I want to have like as many flower points as possible because you can't buy these items, you know. So I used it, and instead I grinded up little enemies for coins and experience, and then I bought the items from the shop for Mario and his little marshmallow buddy. So I think this is more of my adult mind talking because as an adult you really want to save money any way that you can. And I think that because it's engraved itself into my subconscious, I kind of bring that to my video gaming, which I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, it's just a video game as opposed to life. So like I should have fun playing these video games, you know? But like let me give you an example. I'm not sure how it is in other countries, but in the United States, factories will produce the same stuff, but they'll print different labels on the package. So, food as an example. You could buy a box of my all-time favorite cereal, Captain Crunch Crunch Berries, and it'll be $4. Or you could buy a box of the quote-unquote generic brand. It'll have some wacky name like Berry Crushers or something like that for $2.75. So, significantly cheaper, but it's the same stuff inside the box. So you're paying more for what is on the outside of the box rather than like what's on the inside, which is what matters. And it'll be the same amount of the stuff too, you know, like same size box or same net weight, whatever. And it's not just like that with food, of course. I mean, hygiene products are another big thing. You know, you have Head and Shoulders shampoo, or you have like Crest Pro Health mouthwash or whatever. Like there is another brand that the factories print called Equate, and it's like the same stuff. If you look on the back, it has the same active ingredient that is in the name brand stuff. So it's the same thing, but significantly cheaper. So of course, I mean, saving money, you're gonna want to buy the generic brand stuff. But anyways, that's kind of off topic, but it all ties into what I was talking about how like I think my adult mind has made its way into my video gaming. And you know, this could be considered a bad thing because you could say, oh, well, you're not having fun. Or you could consider this as a good thing and say like, oh, well, you know, I'm too good of a player or something like that. It sounds a little cocky, but you could say I'm too good of a player and I don't need these items. Therefore, I have all these items that are, you know, stockpiling up. I guess overall, I would have to say that I'm more of a conservative player than anything else because it's not only like this in, you know, RPG games. I used to play Borderlands a lot, and one of my favorite things to do was snipe in Borderlands, and I would get really pissed whenever I would snipe and miss somebody because that means that, oh, well, I have to go buy ammo now or something like that. I know it sounds completely stupid, but I don't know. I guess it's just a part of how I am whenever I game. You know, I don't really understand it, but I wish I could use these items more because I could have just like had smooth sailing and had a lot of fun just like steamrolling people because that's like one thing I like to do in certain games. I just like to build up a superior army to the enemies and just crush them like smash, 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 you know, like certain video games I like to do that. Whereas there are also other video games where I like to beat the enemy with limited resources, you know, like I like to come out the underdog. You know, it's just two opposite ends of the spectrum. To me, different games have their appeals and different approaches to them as well. Anyways, this video is coming to a close. I just really wish I could find a way to use these items because I really think that it would enhance my gaming experiences, but I just can't use them. I don't know what it is. If you have had any similar experiences to this, post them in the comments down below. I will definitely like to read them if you have. And thank you for watching and listening. Bye.